Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, and welcome back again to our crypto and Casper live stream. Typically daily, but I live yesterday. For those who are asking, although I'm sure there is no one asking, I am about to be leaving, going up north to Scotland with my family, like a 9-10 hour drive or something like that. So I had to do a lot of preparations to be leaving yesterday that unfortunately it didn't allow me to give myself time to stream as well, so I do apologize. But I'm going to be leaving in about I think an hour or so literally once I've done the stream today, I'm going to get my stuff on and just head out the door. So yeah, very small timeline for me, but that being said, I felt bad about yesterday, so I'm going to make up for it today and give you some daily Casper and crypto FOMO. I'm also going to be releasing a video later today as well that will give another rundown on stuff to look out for. Ultimately, a lot of big things coming to Casper, and as the title states, a breakout is incoming. I think we are on the cusp of seeing one with crypto and in particular with Casper as well. Things are looking good all in all. So if you enjoy this daily live stream content, typically daily at least, then feel free to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Right now we can see Casper is rallying against the rest of the market, which is, not a new occurrence for us, thankfully. But we can see Casper is currently up 3.71% on the daily time frame, valued at 11.2 cents. And we can see it's looking very good. So far, Casper's still following this bullish structure, forming higher lows and higher highs, which is great to see. Now, of course, Casper still could be in a corrective pattern right now. I believe that we will find support. Worst case, probably around 9.5 cents. Absolute worst case, I think. Maybe back to 9 cents again, but this for me is the low, so I'd be surprised. I think right now we may have even found the bottom, considering now we're on the 20th of May and we are seemingly about a week or so away until the M2 is due to explode upwards, and therefore Bitcoin and crypto should follow in suit. For those who are new or are unaware of what this is, the M2 money supply is an indicator that has an 80 to 90% correlation to the price of Bitcoin. We can look throughout history and look at the chart here. We can see how closely this M2 tends to follow the price of Bitcoin here. So it's a very accurate indicator, more or less. And it basically is a summary or a kind of a conjoint account of all the major economies. So the money flowing around the economies of United Kingdom, the European Union, China, Japan, and the United States. So it shows how much money in the economy out of these nations right now. And it's got it going. I mean, even without the Fed cutting rates in America, printing more money, it is going parabolic right now. And we can see if we zoom in a lot more. I'm not going to realign the M2 properly here, but you can see here the pump starts happening around the end of May, going into June, according to giving it a 13-week delay. So in that regard, then things are looking up, and we may therefore see a pump in the next week or two, I'd like to believe. And Casper, I think, is going to start rallying more than anything else based on their incoming developments, based on the fact that while there have been lack of updates, which is always frustrating when I know what's going on right now, sometimes being silent is better than talking. Actions do speak louder than words. Soon we'll be seeing the release of probably Casplex's public testnet for layer 2, alongside smart contract, native smart contracts on Casper, and everything else we're going to get to in this stream today. Before I do though, I'm going to say my pleasantries. Welcome back everyone to the stream again, and also get through some of the macro first, but things are looking up right now for crypto and Casper. Welcome back, Sergey, my man. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing very well today, having a great day so far. Falco, brother, yo to you too. Stack bundles first, almost, but you know what? If Mr. Marcus say first, I'm sure you can as well, man. Welcome back to the channel. Joseph King, I'm liking this time. I'm sure you are. I know the times of when I go live are normally very consistent, in and around 7 hours later than now. And the reason why, and I do apologize for those who prefer this time, the reason why is because I have more activity, a higher viewer base around that time. There's more people online because my audience majority Americans. I believe they're more so Eastern time as well. So me going live this early typically does mean more the community are missing out. So I have to cater to the whole community. But at the same time, if I have situations like today where I have to go live earlier, you guys get to reap the benefits of that, and they can watch on playback, you know. So unfortunately, living somewhere different. But either way, it's better for me still getting some daily content for you, as opposed to not streaming at all like I did yesterday. What's up, Mila? Hope you're doing very well, sir. Early today, yo, everyone. Welcome back, Mila. Yes, early indeed. And I'm sure everyone's enjoying this early time right now. Seeing the OGs here as well. Great to see. Welcome back, Zach, again. Welcome back, DD, man. Obi1.Casper, welcome up, brother. Welcome back to the channel. And hey, you're early today. Yes, I am, brother. I did make an announcement about it yesterday when I was unable to go live, that I would be going live today at this time. And I also give a half an hour warning in my community as well. So hopefully everyone was aware to see that. What's up, Benjamin, man? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, welcome everyone to the sheet. And good BYDFI ad placement. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, I am trying to well, obviously, those who are probably aware now from the video I made on my channel, the last one I made, I am now working with BYDFI, which is, you know, it's a good exchange. You know, I am using them right now. They offer no KYC, no VPN as well. So those who those who are concerned about particular or potential Coinbase hacks, you know what happened, that hack with the social engineering hack. You know, while again, customer support, they got your information with BYDFI, you can use the platform without KYC. So, you know, again, there's many benefits to BYDFI. I have a affiliate link in my description where you can get many benefits from, you know, 15% deposit cashback, $8,100 rewards if you do certain tools and tasks and whatnot. And equally, you get a VIP2 account, which is a very, very big deal, of course. It gives you a lot of benefits. I think it's like 15 to 20% discount on futures trades, which is quite cool. Again, want to reiterate though, they have got regulatory licenses in like the United States and Canada and other regions around the world like Australia, Estonia, and some other parts as well. But there are some regions in the world where they are not accepted. So always be sure to check out if they are available in your location before trying to sign up. No Casper on there. Yeah, that's the only downside to it, unfortunately. I am speaking to see if, you know, they're potentially going to list it soon. Therefore, we can get in a little bit earlier as well. But right now, I've heard nothing about it. But let's see if I can work some magic and get our community reaping the benefits of that as well with Casper. But anyways, actually, before I do, James, welcome back, my man. Hello from New Zealand. Love to have you here, brother. Great to have you here. Love the videos. Do you think it's more probable that we see Casper continue to pull back rather than pump for the next couple of days? It's a very good question, actually. It's a very good question. And I mean, ultimately, of course, I'm not a financial advisor and nobody knows for sure. I am optimistic with how the markets are currently behaving, that I'm more inclined to believe we might see a pump. I think if we see a pullback for Casper, I'm hoping it won't be lower than 9.5 cents. I think probably more so 10 cents right now. Casper has formed, you know, it rebounded off this 10.2, 10.3 cent zone here, which does seem to be a level of resistance. If you look at the market chart right now, we draw the line here, we can see on numerous occasions where Casper has seen some form of, you know, rebound, you know, turning around that area. So it seems to be a level of support here. So it's a possibility, therefore, that Casper just form its next bottom. And now it's going to start rallying up. Considering what we're going to be seeing for Casper very soon, it's a very good possibility. It does heavily, though, depend on the macro. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure, because while fundamentally speaking for Casper and their developments, I think they should start pumping now. And the pumping today is very good to see, but the macro could weigh in too heavily on the market right now. For example, on Monday, which the video I'm releasing later, will get into that in more detail. It's also what I explained to my VIPs ahead of time, that when the markets open on Monday, we will see a correction. And that's not me trying to say that I was right. That's me trying to say that I've done my research. I knew all this information here, which I knew would lead to corrections when the market opened. I'll get to that a little bit in this stream, so those who are aware. And if you want to find out more ahead of time, you know, getting the VIP group as well available for you to check out. Find a lot of stuff ahead of time, from institutional research documents, alpha information, private live streams. We go into detail about the markets and what's coming through, fundamentals and whatnot. So if you want to find out more, trade alerts as well, link down below in the description, 7-day free trial. The macro is going to win on the market. I think right now the market's looking quite strong, especially considering the stablecoin bill's now passed. So if I'm to give percentages, not financial advice, James, I would say it's probably about a 70% chance, I'd like to believe, that Casper I don't know, 65% chance Casper will start making another push upwards, provided we get no more uncertainties. But again, there's still a 45% chance. No, that 35% chance. Do the math correctly, Johnny. 35% chance that we might see it come below this line here and go a little bit lower as well. That being said, let's get into the content for today. So first, we're going to start off with the macro news. So to start off with, I made a post last week asking, will the next leg of the bull run start next week, with Senator Bill Hagerty making a post on the 16th of May talking about how we will start establishing this Genius Act stablecoin bill. It was originally brought forward to the Senate and then it was prevented from coming forward. It was voted against, which is a bit unfortunate, you know, truth be told. But hey, is what it is. And they did do some amendments to it. And following the amendments, the Senate just yesterday did officially pass the Genius stablecoin bill with more than 60 votes, which is, you know, look at the 60 to 29. Last time it was like very, very close. Very close. I think it was like, what, 30... there was one vote between yes and no last time, and now it's a convincing victory this time, which is a very, very big, you know, very reassuring, good vote of confidence for what's going to come to crypto, therefore. So now we finally have legal framework for stablecoins in the United States, and we'll see many more like market structure bill coming very soon as well. So things are very good to see. And this will hopefully allow more investments to come, more innovation for digital assets as well in America. According to Hagerty here, Senator Hagerty, the demand for US Treasuries will balloon to a tune of more than $1 trillion, which if that's the case, that's very, very big. And he also mentioned in a CNBC interview that, you know, the holders of US Treasuries are going to end up being the leaders of stablecoins. So again, that's a very big deal. And the fact that this passed yesterday as well, I think also why, when we look at the market yesterday, we saw Bitcoin come down quite significantly. We saw what, a 4-5% correction in Bitcoin, coming from 100 and about 4% correction. We saw it peak above 107k, then come down to 102k. And of course, that was off the back of this news here. This news here we'll get into in a moment. But it saw a massive, you know, recovery. I mean, it's still down today, which is again probably still the aftermath of the Moody rating, but it saw a comeback, I believe, because the stablecoin bill was passed. Therefore, as an investor, we understand therefore that acceleration of momentum is going to happen in America with the United States and crypto very, very soon as well. That's also proven by the fact that we've got this small interview here, which I do apologize. The audio for this interview is very, very low and I can't increase it, so please turn your volume up if you can to listen to it. This is from UBS, the $1 trillion banking giant, who effectively confirms that their wealthy clients, they're allocating more and more of the portfolios into crypto right now. So listen very closely, turn your mics up and pay attention.
Alternative is not just private market and also hedge fund, commodity and crypto. Interestingly, recently when I talked to some of the traditional family offices, they were telling me they are now looking at allocation of 5% in crypto. That's the reason why even traditional banks like us, I have to make sure we get our platform ready to take on this opportunity. So I think definitely opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, now once more I do apologize, the audio is quite low. The video that I'm making later does have this clip in it and it will be put to a higher volume so you can hear it then. But the whole premise here is just understanding that UBS, they're one of, you know, many banking giants and asset managers and financial institutions that are all trying to gain access to crypto, and all of their clients are seeing the potential and opportunity, the potential to make money in crypto. And they're seeing it late as well, because, you know, most of us here have been here for, you know, 1 or 2 cycles or even longer, or some of us have even just been here in this cycle in general, but we're still here before the stablecoin bill was passed, before the massive, you know, TradFi companies start getting involved in crypto as well, and they want to get involved in earnest. Right now, 5%. That's going to increase more over the years, and no doubt in my mind. No doubt. That's a very, very big deal, therefore, for crypto. Very, very big deal, therefore, for what's going to come through. And that's, again, showcasing how early we are. And I can easily correlate that to, you know, you can see this post here from the Cointelegraph, the latest. 1.1% of the USD supply is tokenized as stablecoins. That's quite small, but that's going to increase drastically over the years with stablecoin bills now being passed. And for us, Casper holders, it seemed like a no-brainer at all that over the decades to come, the years to come, the total percentage of those stablecoins are going to be on Casper because no other network can compete in terms of speed. Right now, Casper is very, very quick, but it can't completely compete with the likes of Sui or Ethereum or Solana, and that's purely because they haven't got stablecoins yet. Soon. Very, very soon. And that's not even getting into the DAG Knight. Oh my gosh, when DAG Knight comes out, which we haven't got a timeline for that. Michael Sutton said potentially 2025. He said definitely not 2027, so hopefully late 25 and not next year 26. We'll be after the cycle, but when DAG Knight comes out, oh my lord, we are going to be in for a treat. Because that every other blockchain network, every other crypto network has set parameters in terms of their speed and what they can handle and whatnot. DAG Knight will let Casper scale as long as the hardware continues to improve and the latency continues to improve. So at that point, therefore, with DAG Knight, you don't need really any more maybe some fine tuning here and there. There'll be more, protocols. I'm sure the devs will start focusing on quantum resistance for Casper as well. Some players can do it. I'm sure you can do, but DAG Knight's going to be absolutely game changing for Casper and will blow every other project out there. It's going to definitely, I see, migrate a lot of the Bitcoin maxis to Casper as well, because the developer of Proof of Work, her name I think is Cynthia Dwork, she stated that basically having an infrastructure, a protocol that can scale with latency is impossible, but Casper's going to prove that otherwise. But of course that's later on, very exciting future, but later on. But of course the big thing for us right now is the imminent release of smart contracts that will let Casper be interoperable with every other infrastructure protocol in this space. The Moog language, therefore, being Sui, the Solana VMs, the Ethereum VMs, Bitcoin's Lightning Network, you'll be interoperable with all of them and making them better as well. So I'll get into some Casper news real quick before I get into... Actually, you know what? No, because I want to keep in the stream. I think I want to explain exactly what happened on Monday, because I couldn't do my stream yesterday, so I couldn't explain what was happening. So basically, we saw a quick... I'll go through it very quickly. I'll go into it in more detail in my video. We saw a correction yesterday. Casper came down, 8-9% in all? Yeah, about 8-9%. Bitcoin came down about 4%. That was off the back of the Moody rating announcement. So basically, the Moody rating downgraded the US credit rating, citing concerns over increasing US government debt, which is proven here. When you look at the yields are typically seen as, the increasing government. If the yield's going up, it means again more concerned about debt effectively. And the Moody rating came out on Friday as the markets in the traditional markets were closing. So the TradFi market didn't have time to react to that negative news. So when the markets opened on Monday, you saw a massive flood or liquidation just coming out of the markets. So that is ultimately what happened. What we saw a liquidation yesterday. The bonds again running up higher and higher, which showcases concerns of, the bond markets are trading like we have rising inflation, no recession, and no trade deals, but things are not looking good right now. The bonds in the United States are going up. What's worse, though, is Japan. Japan's 30-year yield rises on highest ever recorded, which is insane. Their 40-year bond yields are reaching situation worse than Greece, which if you don't know what that is, look that up, because that's a very dire situation. Greece got screwed. They really handled it badly, and right now, Japan is going worse than Greece, which they're top 5 economies in the world, so that's a very bad thing. All as Japan's GDP is contracting again. So Japan are in a financial crisis right now, and it's going higher and higher still, their yields. Now, truth be told, Japan have handled worse debt situation than this so far. They have handled worse, but it's still bad. Japan is kind of, the yen's deemed as a kind of a financial safe haven normally, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So that is why we saw outflows and why we're still seeing some outflows right now, a lack of belief in the financial economy. However, for me, considering what we're seeing right now for crypto as a whole, there's all this information and stuff coming out. The fact that we've seen Bybit as well, being the first major crypto exchange to offer direct global stock trading with USDT Tether, launching access to 78 top equities like Apple, Tesla, and Amazon. So crypto now coming. We were expecting, TradFi to come to crypto, and it's still going to happen, but you're now seeing crypto go to TradFi. Coinbase launching their stock, their dollar coin on the S&P 500. Bybit now offering stock trading as well. Huge news, very big news. So while there's financial uncertainty right now, crypto's not stopping. So even then, you might therefore see this 5% allocation increase more so as more and more clients are ditching US dollar assets for crypto, because they see crypto now more safe haven than anything else. Gold and crypto, digital gold and Bitcoin, crypto as a whole, than anything else. Gold again is currently had a bit of a fallback, but still at higher levels, and I'm sure you'll see it rally up again over the coming months. QAT, do you think Bitcoin will all-time high soon? Yes, I do believe so. If I was to hazard a guess, not financial advice, guess, I would say within the next 3 weeks, we'd see Bitcoin hopefully run it again, provided we get no black swan macro uncertainties like recession worries or a breakout of war. Then I think we'll see Bitcoin return to all-time highs in the next 2 to 3 weeks or so. That's what I'm hoping for, and we'll see therefore crypto, Casper rally in suit as well. And I'm hopeful war won't come through. Trump also made an announcement here. Again, you can believe it if you want to, doesn't bother me if you do. He just said here, just completed my 2-hour call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. I believe it went very well. Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the war. I'm not going to read the whole thing here as well. You know, Russia wants to do large-scale trade with the United States when the catastrophe bloodbath is over. So that is, you know, again, just handpicking some stuff here. If this is the case, this is very, very good news. The war coming to an end, and equally seeing Russia trading with America, seeing more capital flowing into America will be good news all around for this financial market as well. Seeing more capital, and therefore also may discredit or, you know, change the opinion of the Moody, who are seeing increasing government debt. If more investments are coming back to America, that debt won't be so much of a factor anymore. So that's very good to see. That's most of the macro news for today, all around. Some concerns, but all in all, things are looking up. Stablecoin bill passing is a very big deal, and again, Casper is in a strong position for that with their protocol. And then we can get into some of the Casper news as well for what is to come, ultimately why we are excited for what is to come for Casper right now. Welcome back, Gosu Man, lurking from work. Great to have you here, and happy Tuesday, my man. Welcome back to the channel. Casper breaking down Mayday. It's at 1. It's up currently 1.25% on the daily. It is coming down a little bit right now. It did pump up about 4% earlier. Currently, it's come down a bit, but it's still up 1.21% on the daily time frame. If it comes down more, then again, I wouldn't be too surprised. You know, I'm hoping that this is the bottom for Casper here. I just say 65% will see a reversal, but again, for me, if you lose this support here, which, you know, is definitely a possibility, I see next support probably around here. And then absolute worst case, we see it come down here. I'll be very surprised if we go lower than here, because Casper right now is still forming the higher highs and higher lows. And I think Casper wants to keep that structure right now. So I think the buyers are still controlling that. So the next 3 zones are looking for Casper. In fact, if we draw the fib retracement, that'll be a good tool we can use. Fib retracement is one of the good tools you can use to kind of judge where the zones are. Probably got it set up correctly here. You can see right now, here's the golden fib. So the golden pocket, if you will. So therefore, it would make sense that Casper therefore wouldn't correct lower than the... I mean, it can of course do that. You know, it's not perfect. It's a good tool, but it's not perfect. But the fib retracement does suggest that the golden pocket here, we shouldn't go lower therefore than about 10 cents or so. If you draw it on the bigger time frame, which equally you could do so from the beginning of April, when we start seeing that rally of momentum down here, we can see that it would therefore put the golden fib down here at around 9.2. So maybe again, if you look at a bigger time frame, we might see Casper therefore correct back down to that. This is where the golden pocket was in the smaller time frame, the 10.1 again. So we see it reverse here again, or we see it come down, forming still a higher low down here, and then going up from here as well. But again, we'll have to wait and see. And I'm still getting the PED. Okay, so I need to now ban the PED. First it was $PDE or whatever that stuff. Now I need to ban PED. Okay, I need to... Sorry guys, still getting the scam comments in here. I'll try my best to block them all I can do. I'll ban this before it gets out of hand. I hope there's no one that's named PED in the community though, because that means they're not going to be able to chat anymore. That's the only problem, man, because some of the words I have to ban, I feel like it does end up clashing with other people as well. Like when I went through the stage of trying to ban the people who are promoting, you know, or follow, you know, Mr. Raoul Powell, follow Mr. Ray Dalio or whatever. People just talking rubbish basically. And because I wanted to prevent that, I banned the words Mr. like an idiot. And therefore I banned Mr. Miles from being able to chat in the community. So hopefully there's no one called PED. So just can ban that here. Ban that. But yeah, that is a bit frustrating. A bit frustrating indeed. But anyways, that should be banned now. But I'm sure again these scammers will always find a way to find a new way to you know, promote their rubbish. Welcome back, Timotar man. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing very, very well. Nice to hear from you too. What's up, Bingo, my man? Good to have you back. Why is your Fibonacci different? Your first point select is 1, and then you have gone with Fib at 0.5 and 0.618 rather than the default. I set mine up differently. You can go into the settings of the Fib, and you can set it up differently. You can set it up differently. Basically what I did when I was, you know, starting out trading is I just typed in on YouTube how to set up the Fib retracement. Of course, different content creators, different traders will have different ways of setting it up, basically. Different ways of setting it up. But for me, when I looked it up, this is what I found, and I based this off other content creators as well when I was first researching. And this for me is just the one that makes sense for me. That just being the base layer here. This 0.5 to 0.6 to golden pocket, and then going up from here as well. You can change it by, you know, click on it, right click, and you go to settings here. Change it all there as well. There are multiple different ways you can have it set up, but I just recommend finding a content creator that you know, I mean, you can follow my one. I mean, I'll even load it up right here now if you want to quickly follow my settings here. You can follow mine. That's all it is right there. Nothing more to it. You can follow my one, but also at the same time, it may be worthwhile choosing that from a quote-unquote TA expert. Again, I do my TA, and this Fib retracement works for me perfectly fine. So you don't need all the massive. You know, some Fib retracements have got a lot of lines in there, and I think it can be quite overbearing, especially if you're an early trader. So sometimes just having it very simple like this works. Truth be told, I probably should have it 0 here, and that should be 1. All that. I probably haven't got it backwards a little bit. Truth be told, but I mean, either way, what's worked for me, I understand it. So you can follow mine or just find a content creator and try and follow theirs or watch a video on it. But again, it's not an absolute must tool to have, but it can be a good one to judge where typically you should see some form of reversal if it comes down. GOG pool was shutting down their mining pools, but I got them to rethink the decision, and they now have Casper pool up and again. Oh, I love that, Andy. Yeah, keep pumping the name of Casper, as you should do. Yeah, those who are struggling, yeah, I mean, Casper is going to just absolutely mining Casper. I think is going to be such a gem. It already, I think it is quite. I mean, again, I don't mind Casper, but I think the miners are going to be very, very happy when the smart contracts come out and there's so much more adoption coming to Casper. It's going to be absolutely insane. So yeah, shout out to you, Andy, again, doing what you should do for the community, keeping the name of Casper out there and spreading the love. Now, again, to some of the Casper news, shall we? Looking at Casper right now, we can see the volume is currently at 82 million, which is a bit lackluster, truth be told. We are expecting to go a lot higher in the near future. The higher it is, the higher chance we see tier 1 listings again. Gate 24, Mexi 23%, BitGet 10%, Bybit 9.6%, Kraken at 2.3%. We need to see higher with the major exchanges right now to incentivize or give a higher indication that these tier 1s will be listing soon enough. If you look at the current wallet addresses right now, we can see this. Now we've broken the next milestone-ish with 525,000 addresses now holding Casper. That does not mean people, to clarify, it does not mean we have 525,000 people holding Casper. It's addresses. You can have multiple wallets. Keep that in mind. But you can see here, not much in terms of inflows. Or saying that, we had some 10.7 million today on wallet 36, basically 9 million here from wallet 124. Gates scooping up 13.7 million. So we're seeing some decent inflows. We're seeing some outflows as well. We're seeing again some coming out of Mexi. Mexi have now returned to Aquaman status here after they bought a lot of, I believe it was Gate Exchange, they bought a lot off. And they're now seeing some outflows again. I mean, again, hopefully they continue to get liquidated as people are losing more and more faith in Mexi. It's a shame as well because I actually really, really like Mexi. I do use their platform, but I just can't buy principal user for anything related to Casper right now because they are not doing Casper well at all. They're treating them very, very poorly. Wallet 2 has been very, very quiet for quite some time now. The last transaction taking place on the 20th of May, which was, no, that's a lie. Actually, no, that's not a lie. That was today. Oh, that's a shame. Actually, they didn't know. They had been quiet for a while, but actually they bought yesterday. But I was not here yesterday because, so they actually did buy some yesterday. Bought 6 million Casper yesterday. Did another small transaction today here, which if you show the details, it's not actually a small transaction. It was a big one, and then they did a small one back, so back and forth basically. But yeah, they were quiet before that for about a week. They sent some Casper out, and they were quiet for a week, and they scooped up some more. Now to 728 million Casper, which is good to see them still stacking more and more. Hopefully, therefore, leading to a listing in due time. KRC20 is looking decent all around as well. Seeing some more capital inflows right now. A bit of a green day. Croak's doing insane, up 107%, which is nice to see. 113% top gainers right now. Natura at 16.2 million market cap. Kango 7, KAS KASPA. We did see news as well that I did cover 2 days ago about Kraken's business developer. Basically suggests that what KRC20 tokens are looking quite good right now. So hinting at the possibility we'll see KRC20s launching on Kraken soon enough, which is very good news to see. I'm looking forward to that. When we don't know, I speculated we might see Kango first because their whole main focus is particularly on listings, but Natura is the bigger one, so maybe Natura will be first as well. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure you'll see big tier ones, other exchanges listing Casper, KRC20 tokens very, very soon, and the smart contracts will also evolve these to a new element and status as well, which is again exciting stuff all around. Now looking into the Casper news right now, we can see again Casper Door highlights being silent is sometimes better than talking. Actions versus words soon. So again, hinting at the possibility that very, very soon we will see KRC. We'll see probably the Casplex public testnet and native smart contracts coming out very, very soon. I did cover this already as well, but this again for me is very important. Casplex have now an open sourced KIWI, standing for Casplex in Wallet Integration Kiwi, which is a system integration SDK for Casper and KRC20 Layer 2. What this means for us though, who are not developers, is Kiwi will make it easier than ever before to connect apps, wallets and exchanges to the Casper network, especially its Layer 2 feature, giving builders a ready-made toolkit so they don't have to start from scratch. So faster integration, more use cases, broader adoption, therefore meaning that when this comes out, people who are understandably worried about slow integration and while integration and adoption may still be a little lackluster, maybe a bit slow, these sort of upgrades, these sort of tools, these systems will allow integration to happen smoother and faster, which will be very, very big news as well. And continuation, we got this news today, actually yesterday as well, solid as yesterday. Igra Labs, that escalated quickly. We now have 34 builders across 21 teams in our dev Discord working on everything from network analytics to bridges, stablecoins and perp dexes, futures decentralized exchanges, which is huge news. And we're seeing, of course, more and more come through. Very good news. And of course, Igra, I don't think they're going to be releasing anything this quarter, probably in Q3. But again, stuff is looking very exciting for Igra right now. And then we got CSwap, of course, being one of those 21 teams who are working, with Igra here, which is, again, ultimately a lot of big things are coming to Casper. So what's not to be excited about? Also, why I believe that Casper is hopefully more inclined to see a push rather than pullback. But again, I have to see how the macro affects the market. Then we get into some of the biggest news for this stream today. The KEF have made a groundbreaking announcement for Casper. From hacker to researcher, rebel to builder, Hans Moog has now joined Casper as a KEF granted core researcher, which is huge news. Hans, with over 24 years of coding, knowledge. Hans has done it all, founded a successful tech company, ran underground gaming ops with millions of users, funded open science across the globe, and become one of the most respected minds in DAG-based DLTs. After years of contributing to IOTA research agendas, Hans began seeking a project whose architecture and values fully aligned with his vision for decentralization and long-term impact, which led him to proof of work, which led him to Casper. It's very, very good news, Casper family. Welcome aboard from Michael Sutton here as well. it was a real pleasure to meeting you in Hong Kong and discussing so many fascinating subjects touching on crypto, faith and whatnot. I'm excited about your complementary aspects that you'll bring to the Layer 1 to Layer 2 canonical bridge research discussions and your principled yet hands-on perspective. So again, we're seeing more absolute titans jumping onto the Casper team right now. Sompolinsky, which to remind you, Sompolinsky is quoted in many white papers, like Ethereum's white paper, Sompolinsky is in that. Sompolinsky has been regarded as an expert in Bitcoin security. You've got Michael Sutton, you've got Mike Zack, you've got the creator and founder of Litecoin, Crypto Aspect, who's also working with Casper now. Now you've got Hans. It's very big news here. Hans made a post here just saying, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I cannot express how excited I am to work with Casper. It's one of the few projects in this space that intuitively understands the value proposition that Satoshi Nakamoto brought to the table, and that is willing to go the extra mile to deliver on the original promise of crypto to create a truly decentralized and unstoppable network that will survive even the most adverse scenarios. That is the whole point here. Well, you have XRP, Sui, Say, you got Ethereum, you got Hyperliquid. All of these projects have their own niches, their own benefits, and they're all going to do well. This cycle I'm very confident on. But how good are they going to do in the distant future to be? Of course, some people only care about the cycle, and that's fine. If you're focusing only on this cycle, then fine, yeah, go to what you want to. But in this community here, while we do the same as what we do look at other projects, we do talk about Sui on occasion, talk about Say and Tau on occasions as well. We here ultimately believe in Casper because Casper is literally what crypto is meant to be. What Bitcoin is meant to be, but fell short of. Casper is the future of what Satoshi Nakamoto actually envisioned for crypto. Going the extra mile to also survive adverse. That is Dagnite talking there. Dagnite is internet chaos resistant. Very big deal. Instead of delegating a task of maintaining the ledger to a small number of highly specialized actors. So again, that would be, think of any project in this space, have a small team who are kind of working together to build it, gradually excluding everybody else. Casper is committed to creating a network where anyone can participate and run a node. It's a very big deal once again. Casper's going about it how you should be going, but not having a small team of highly specialized actors, highly specialized devs, looking at Sui, again, all these projects, I'm not trying to FUD them, because they all have their own advantages, and I think they all do well this cycle, but they aren't what crypto has become inherently very centralized now, because Bitcoin fell short, and therefore people perceived it was impossible to actually have a crypto project, a coin that could achieve the trilemma. And then even then, like Vitalik Buterin stated, you cannot achieve the trilemma. We want something that's quick, so scalable and secure. But you can't do that and be decentralized. That's why everything's now become very centralized, because you can't have decentralization at the same time. Bitcoin had decentralization and was secure but no speed. Everything else is centralized because they have speed and the security. But Casper is proving itself quite evidently to be the only project in the space that can actually attest to being secure and scalable like everything else, but still being decentralized, something that people have perceived to be impossible. It is possible, and Casper is doing it, and people who are titans in this space are realizing this. I have to admit that I was initially not sure if I even wanted to stay in the crypto space, as I felt like the entire space was slowly pivoting away from the ideals and values that once fascinated me so much. But after talking to people like Sompolinsky, Michael Sutton, and Shai, and a large number of really brilliant people that are already involved with the project, I realized that the original vision is far from dead. In fact, it is flourishing. Instead of endless discussions, there was a feeling of mutual understanding and a shared fascination with DAG-based systems that, in my opinion, capture the very essence of how our world functions and at its most fundamental level. So again, just a very, very nice opening talk here. Talk about, starting as a complete grassroots movement without any form of VC backing or extended funding, Casper is destined to prove to the world that performance, security, robustness, and openness don't have to be mutually exclusive features of a DLT, but can be combined into a single layer one by leveraging insights of years of research. Instead of being the first, there is real value in doing things right and trying to be the best. Casper could have released their project ages ago. Shai mentioned 2018, but they held off for an extra 3 years to 21 to make sure they have more of the developments and research done. doing things right, slow but right, as opposed to just pumping things out quickly to pump quick bags. They're not a money grabbing project. They haven't got warped agenda. They're trying to create something that's really, really good. Let's prove to the world that true decentralization not only matters, but is superior to any form of benevolent dictatorship. Any other crypto project. Again, this is very, very big news for Casper. More titans come to the space. Casper, as I've seen stack here, yes, they are definitely assembling the Avengers. The Avengers are assembling, and it's going to be Casper taking this space by storm. We are doing so much here at Casper, which is very exciting stuff. And Casper also highlights here, good day everyone, does a quick update that what we are currently working on this week. The user manual has been rewritten from scratch to gain more control over the code and how it is written. This new documentation will cover a lot more features and technical guides on how community can use this app. 90% of features and guides have been covered so far and will be deployed in our own subdomain. So again, we're seeing Casway, the world's first centralized point of sale solution, another big project coming to Casper. Also releasing very soon. They released their white paper. I did post that in my community already, but we're seeing again the sheer amount of development coming to Casper is why I mean, yes, now we're seeing it come down, unfortunately, down 0.65% on daily time frame. It's a bit unfortunate to see, but again, we've seen Casper pump today. We might see it come back a little bit more, but I think based on the M2 supply, again, it's following in suit right now. Again, if I want to line it up a bit more accurately, it's following in suit right now. So I'm not for a moment worried about, you know, we might see a little dip right now. We're going to see it make a little reversal, come down drastically, and then make a quick reversal again, like a flash crash, come back up again. And then we'll see it make this push towards all-time high. So maybe see some more downside in the immediate short term. Maybe come back down to that 100k again. Maybe. But I think going towards the end of May, June, we'll see a massive reversal. And Casper is going to outperform the rest of the market based on their imminent developments and based on the fact that they've got such an impressive team of experts, literal crypto titans who are now working to bring Casper to the forefront of crypto, to be interoperable with everything in this space, to just flourish. When ZIL swap? I actually don't know. It's a very good question. I'll check on ZIL right now and see if they made an announcement about it. The open beta is now live. That was a few days ago. So they got a beta, open beta 4 is live, which is good to see. So you're leveling up Z5 with ZIL and Nacho staking in the new Infinity pool. So that's now available. I don't see anything regarding their swaps being fully available just yet. Probably coming out soon. I don't currently hold any ZIL. Probably coming out very, very shortly. Though they've got the again, it's a beta here, but they've got the farm up and running for Nacho and ZIL, so you can stake those two. Yield farms are very, very big. I mean, I'm going to be talking about a lot more, especially in my VIP group as well, in more detail, because part of the factor of crypto is, you know, what's coming to the space is very, very exciting, very exciting. And one big element is being your own bank, which can be done through yield farming, which I'm going to explain in detail to my VIPs. You want to find out a lot more, again, alpha information, what the TradFi companies are looking at, if one of them being yield farmed. Also, educational tutorials and videos, buy and sell alerts, weekly live streams, and much more. Check it out. 7-day free trial, link below in the description, and my homepage. We are, again, about to level up so massively with Casper, and equally that community as well is going to go higher and higher as well. Alpha information being shared as much as we possibly can to keep you ahead of the game, and hopefully therefore more profitable as well. But again, you know, always do your own research. But I'm not sure there's ZIL swaps coming out right now, but I'm sure it'll be very soon. You might see it, you know, on the release of Casplex's public layer 2. That's what I imagine. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Is Shai still helping, or do they hire Han to replace him? It's a good question, Bufflink. I think I don't know about replace the right word, but I know that Shai was working with them, with the KEF and with I think it was Cast Media, people who are paying his wages basically, and I think that's changed now. I mean, Shai's not working; he's now doing YouTube. You know, respect to him. Pick up the YouTube scene. Maybe they hired Han to replace him, or maybe they just, you know. I mean, either way, I mean, that's a big signing anyways. And it's not like Shai's not in the community still. He's still a part of it. He's still very well in tune to the community right now. He's just going about a different way right now. But harms coming in is a very big deal. Very big deal. And yes, as Bufflick reminds me, as always, if you enjoy this content, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more, because we are on the cusp of, hopefully, another big breakout, and financial freedom is the goal here, ultimately. Welcome back, Wednesday. Yay, yay. Making higher lows, looking like a bear market, unable to hold 200 MA. I mean, right now, we are just about losing the 200 moving average, but again, for me, moving averages, while again another reliable source of tools to use, I don't rely on them. I really don't. I don't think, fundamentally speaking, TA is so hard to, you know, that's why TA for me is so relative, truth be told, because if macro heavily affects the markets, like we saw with the Moody rating, if the Moody rating didn't come out, but don't get me wrong, the situation wouldn't have been different anyways, but if it didn't come out, Moody rating being a very, you know, high regarded and respected thing for it, we wouldn't have seen a massive correction like we did yesterday. That's why we lost moving average, basically. And again, it's not a be-all and end-all indicator. We're still making higher lows, though. Still making higher lows, which is a good thing. And, you know, until we lose that structure, I have no reason to be bearish. I mean, even then, I still have no reason to be bearish on Casper. What's coming out for Casper, I have no reason to be bearish right now. It's all from higher lows. This could be the next low. If not, as long as we don't go below here, we're fine. It's all from a higher low. And then what's coming out for Casper, with, again, if we can hold out for just a week, you know, M2 looking like it's going to rally. We are in a strong spot right now, especially if this comes through very soon. Welcome back, all in, my man. Yo, do you have any insight on the launch date for IGRA? No, I do not have any insight on the launch date for IGRA right now. To my knowledge, when I did look at their webinar they did on at the Hong Kong festival a few months back now, they mentioned that they should be aiming to release they've got a definite out right now. Their public testnet should be coming out, I think, early Q3, and then should be launching in Q3 as well. So I'm assuming it'll be sometime in Q3, but I don't know exactly when the launch of IGRA is right now. But either way, we'll have Casplex first, which is, you know, cool. That'll be very good to see Casplex first, and then hopefully IGRA will come out, and maybe they'll be better. Again, I don't really mind who I use. Like, for me, it's not going to be a case of IGRA is better than Casplex. You know, there'll be advantages to different ones. They're all kind of focusing on a slightly different narrative. And if anything, it's also healthy competition. Casplex is going to be first. I'll give them an advantage of being a first mover. But IGRA might be better, might be more interoperable. Again, we'll have to wait and see. All I do know is Casplex is doing a lot of good things. And also, they're focusing on talking to other... Casper Door confirmed in an AMA a while back that they are currently negotiating, speaking to other blockchains to bridge onto Casper, onto the layer 2. So Casper's going to have those partnerships coming through soon enough as well. So I'm not sure which is better between Casplex or IGRA. IGRA's going to come out later, but either way, both are going to be very exciting, and we'll hopefully be able to use both. I'm excited. I mean, if I'm going to be slightly biased here, I think I'm slightly more excited for IGRA. But either way, that's not discrediting Casplex at all. Equally going to be very, very big. And on a very shocking turn of events, I don't know what's happening to Casper right now. Casper's now just going through a massive liquidation. That is surprising. Some people just massively started shorting Casper right now. Huh. Well, fair enough. Again, sucks to suck, but I'm still not ultimately worried. Like, Casper's still... It had a very bipolar day then, because it was up 4% earlier, and now it's come down massively, touched that level of resistance again, and maybe it'll find support there again, or maybe it'll maybe it'll and then reverse, maybe it'll come down further. We'll have to wait and see. But it doesn't change me at all. It doesn't change my opinion on Casper at all, or where we're going to go in this cycle. I'm still, you know, completely content on where we are right now. When is Vitalik joining the KAS dev team? Honestly, that is a very good question. I'm very curious as well to see when Vitalik's going to join the Casper dev team. Maybe he'll join it soon, maybe he won't. Again, we'll have to wait and see. What's going on here? My chart's bugging out. There you go. And maybe he will. I mean, if he gives out on Ethereum, maybe he will join. Because, truth be told, Vitalik, while he has, skewed away from his original vision, he is still a smart individual. He did try originally, and I think he thought it was impossible, and then, he fell short. I would definitely accept Vitalik. Not that we need him, but, I mean, hey, the more the merrier, right? As long as he still sticks true to the actual vision of Casper. Zealous is waiting for smart contracts Q3, hopefully. Yeah, that's also what I believe as well. Yeah, they're waiting for those sort of developments coming through. Just got one fresh block in GOG pool. Hey, Andy, big up to you, my man. Love to hear it, brother. So the next support is 10 cents and 9.2, right? I mean, for the most part, yes. It looks, there's support around here, 10.3. As you can see here on numerous occasions, we've seen Casper, rebound around this zone here. So it's definitely a level of support here. And then again, if you look at the fib retracement, you can see on the shorter time frame, looks like it could be another one here around 10.1, or even on the longer time frame even. Suggests we could be seeing one in and around 9.2 as well, which I think that might be where Casper reverse. If we go down any further, I think Casper's going to find support here, like around this zone here. That's my worst case. But there are multiple levels of support. You've got some here as well, and here. So it could be, for me, I think Casper hopefully will hold on to this zone around 10 to 10.3 cents where we're at right now. If not, then we might see Casper come down to 9.2, the top of the golden pocket. And then we'll see that reversal come through, still forming higher highs and higher lows. Fundamentals may be strong, but technically we need to look for Bitcoin too. Bitcoin brings liquidity, and Casper needs to hold 11.2 on monthly. Then only can we see a bull market. I don't completely agree. I do believe that we need to look at Bitcoin. I agree with you on that. We're in a Bitcoin dominant market, so I agree with you there. Bitcoin does drive the market, so I'm not discrediting you in that at all. And the dominance is going up higher and higher as well. That's why alts are bleeding a bit more and Bitcoin's bleeding. But I don't think Casper needs to hold above 11.2. I don't think we need to hold above that. We already have formed another peak up here. We came down here. In this stage here, we went from 5 cents to 11 cents and came down to 8.3. We don't need to hold above this necessarily. It'd be great. It'd be fantastic if we held above here. We don't need to. Because ultimately, the fundamentals matter a lot more than technical analysis. If Casper does not hold here, if Casper does not hold above 11.2, does that mean Casper's not going to make the bull cycle then? No, not necessarily at all. If you end up seeing these big developments coming out, these fundamentals for Casper, and equally for the macro side of things as well, and equally the money supply, the M2, Casper's going to follow in suit. Just because it finished low doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to come up. Again, we'll have to wait and see, We've still got a lot to pan out right now. We've got 11 days left of the month. And we've had a very, very good month so far. Since its beginning in April, we've seen it pump a total of 2.5x. So it pumped 2x in April. We started May. Here. So we're still up from May, 17%. And we're up 50% technically as well from the beginning. So we're still up on May right now. So it's still been a bullish May so far. I would be surprised if we go below these supports down here. Thank you for your financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You're welcome for my analysis, if you will, on what I'm looking at the markets and the fundamentals, but I am not a financial advisor, Ali. Do your own research, trade at your own discretion, and hopefully I provided you some insight. That's all I can say, because this is educational content, not financial advice. Casper going down to next support zone. It does look like that right now. Finding support, hopefully, right now. Seeing, again, if you go to the smaller time frame, go to the 1 minute. You saw a massive pullback here. Massive pullback. And then we found it reverse around 10.4, 10.3 zone here. Now making a pump up again. So maybe it found support again down here, which would be, quite good, truth be told, if it did. Because that does, again, in line with that support here. And again, I do think we could still come back down. Based on the fact that, again, if you look at the M2 does suggest we'll see another big pullback. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Yeah, again, if you look at the M2 here, you can see it suggests that we should be seeing another pullback of sorts around here. So I would not be surprised to see it come down a little bit and then come down again. So I would not be surprised to see a pullback, but at the same time, end of May going into June does look to be the bullish catalyst, the bullish time. And with the stablecoin bill now being passed as well, that is going to accelerate more adoption into crypto as well, which is a very, very good thing. Very good thing indeed. The performance of Casper is so ridiculous. It dumped immediately from 11.3 to 10.7. It pumped once, it dumped twice. I mean, yeah, people are manipulating the price of Casper. That's what's happening right now. It's very frustrating. I'm not discrediting that. Of course, if you're trading Casper, it's more frustrating. I'm not really trading Casper. I could. I don't, though. I do trade other assets, and I also, use BYDFI. You can see the watermark highlight down below because I'm partnered with them right now. I'm trading BYDFI and MEXC, but more so BYDFI now. I mean, yeah, if you're trading, then of course it would be frustrating, but if you're holding, it's not really a big deal. That's, I think, also why I very rarely get frustrated with Casper, even when it's going down, because I'm not trading it, so I'm not worried about getting liquidated. I know it's going to go up, or I got utmost conviction it's going to go up, so I'm just holding and holding and holding. And it's definitely some form of manipulation going on right now. If you refresh the page and look at the volume right now, we can see volume for Casper right now is at 88. Again, we're seeing a lot of influence. I'm sure that MEXC is also where the manipulation is coming from as well, because look at the depth right now. Gate has got $109,000 needed for it to go up 2%, 148 to go down 2%. MEXC is 17k. 17k. If you put 17k on MEXC, it goes up 2% on Casper. And then 58 going like that. That's ridiculously small. Ridiculously small. For one of the biggest holders of Casper, it's ridiculously small. So again, I think it might be MEXC again, but we can always talk about manipulation. We can't really think about it really. Welcome back, Jeff, bro. What's the KEF news? The KEF news is them onboarding Hans, who is an absolute titan in the crypto space. 24 years of coding research, absolute, legend. And he's now joining KEF as a granted core researcher. I'm making a video that I'll be uploading in probably about 5 hours or so, maybe a bit earlier. Let me figure that out. And I'll be going through this as well, but it's a very, very big deal. And, great stuff all around. Looking forward to that. Casper performs like a proof of stake with pre-allocation. I really regret of taking positions with the performance. It will be a miracle if it touches 50 cents of $1. I mean, I also personally disagree. But that's just me. Again, it's my personal opinion, not financial advice. I don't see much of a problem. I mean, again, I understand the frustration, definitely. But, once more to highlight it again, think back to the big projects, the actual proof of stake big projects. The Solanas, the AVAXs, the Ethereums. Even when Ethereum was a proof of work back in 2017. All those projects in the latter half of the cycle, the last month or 2 or 3 months, they pumped 8x, 10x, 15x in value. Casper, while there's more competition right now, so it's quote-unquote harder, Casper is one of the most truly innovative projects in this space, hence why Hans is also signed on as well. They're bringing smart contracts coming out on a proof of work never done before, insane stuff. Native smart contracts, Dagonite in the future as well, stablecoins, all these elements are going to be huge for Casper as well, and getting more adoption on the platform. So for me, I am still very optimistic. 50 cents would only be a $13 billion market cap, which, look at the crypto market cap, look at the top 10, And look at these. Right now, you've got Bitcoin at 2 trillion. For me, Bitcoin could reach 4 this cycle. You can see a 6 trillion market cap, Bitcoin reaching 4. I think that's possible. Maybe not 4. Maybe 3.5 trillion. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But I think crypto can reach a 6 trillion market cap, 5-6 trillion market cap. And you'll see that money bleed into altcoins. You'll see these go parabolic. You'll see probably top 10. will all be, you know, above $100 billion market cap. And Casper, I think, could equally rally up significantly as well. 13 billion, I think, is way too low for Casper. Personally, again. But I don't want to talk too much about price action personally, because again, I think it's a skewed mindset. So I might even revoke my statement there. But I'm not worried about Casper's price ultimately. That's what my whole point there. I'm not worried about Casper's price ultimately. I think Casper's still going to do very, very well. Just reading more of the questions real quick. And yeah, I'm just seeing what OD and DD are saying there. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's frustrating, right? It's very frustrating. But again, I'm personally not too worried. I'm really not. Casper just jumped hugely, looks weird. Yeah, no, it does look weird. Why we saw such a massive liquidation in such a short time. But even then, look at that right now. Again, going back to the minute. You saw a massive liquidation, you know, happening gradually. And then you saw it, you know, go down drastically in like 20 minutes. 10 minutes even. 10 minutes. It came down in 10 minutes. Came down 4% in 10 minutes. And now it's making that recovery again. So something's going on. But who knows? Why won't you let me do that? Okay, there you go. By the dip source, indeed. By the dip, indeed. It does not make sense watching a fair launch dumping every time so much like happy allocation. I mean, I guess, but at the same time, it is still fair launch. And because Casper still got quite a small level of adoption and volume, the people who do control the price, being the exchanges, they can manipulate it very easily. MEXC being the main culprit as we speculate in the community. I mean, look at that again. Look at their price. The price is at 10.5. It's higher on MEXC than anywhere else. In conjunction to Bitmart, the ones with the lowest buy-sells. So you're seeing people who are evidently flipping the profit. Maybe they're buying it on BingX or KuCoin and then selling it to MEXC, making a profit. That's not necessarily insider trading. That's more so just people maybe realizing that I'm capitalizing off that, or even just, again, exchanges manipulating the price of Casper. I mean, that is manipulation in its sense as well. Why is it higher on MEXC, significantly more so, but on average is around 5.1, 5.2, but it's higher on MEXC, higher on Gate, lower on KuCoin, lower on BingX. You're probably seeing people buying on these exchanges and selling it to these ones. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Casper's about to become a real boy and actually hold a pump for the real time. First time in 564 days. My shark average is 3 cents, but I won't pretend that my money would not have been better off in Bitcoin since 11th or 23. I mean, yeah, if you held Bitcoin, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you held 11.23, so November 23 would have put you around here. So Casper's only up, technically speaking, about 2x from there. Well, now it's not, about less than 2x, but if 2x from there. Bitcoin in a similar time frame, you know, 11.23 is way down here. So yeah, comparatively, Bitcoin's had an absolute parabolic turn compared to Casper in the last, in terms of price at least, in the last like year and a bit, year and a half. But either way, I still think Casper's going. I mean, yeah, you're right. You would have had better off in Bitcoin at that point. But I think Casper, either way, is still going to perform very well in the not too distant future. As again, you'll start seeing this Casper Bitcoin dominance start to rally up again as well. We must forget that, in my humble opinion, that once retailers buy Casper, it will be more difficult to manipulate the price. Now it's clearly, yeah, I mean, true. Again, there's so much mind of Casper, so much mind of it, that it's going to be very, very hard to manipulate the price of Casper once, for retailers, once, you know, like a supply. The demand will go higher, so it's going to keep pumping up higher and higher as well. Casper went up to 19 cents on the 11th of 23. Yeah, it went up to 19 cents in November. Wait, when? 11.23. When? No. It went up to 15 cents in 11.23. I'm just saying. Oh, you might. Oh no, I think you're saying November 11. Okay, you're saying last year. Okay, so here, around here. Okay. In that case, then yeah. I mean, at the same time, yeah, I mean, Casper's come down significantly since then, whereas Bitcoin, comparatively around the same time frame, has done, you know, a lot better. 1123 is here. So Bitcoin's gone up from there, whereas Casper's come down. So yeah, you're right there at the same time. But hopefully Casper's going to outperform it very, very soon. Let's imagine that Coin Factory had more than 1 billion Casper coins. We would dump and pump the price to accumulate more for us. We will do it more than likely. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, the Coin Factory community does not do that. Not to my knowledge, at least. Do not do that. But there are definitely communities out there who are seeing the price of Casper, seeing it do well, seeing it up 4%, and thinking, why is it up 4% then? Let's dump it. And therefore, they're looking at these other exchanges, seeing where you can make money off it. BingX being 0.0012 cheaper than MEXC, so they're buying it there probably and sending it to MEXC. Again, like it sucks. It's part of the game though. But that's also why I'm not. When I trade, you know, I take it a different way at least, you know. Ben Cohen sent me to remind everyone that Bitcoin is king until the alt season begins. I mean, Bitcoin is always going to be king until alt season. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong there. But at the same time, alts have the higher multiplier. I'm not discrediting whoever been count. I'm not discrediting any of that. But again, I still think Casper's going to do very, very well in the near future. But with that being said, though, family, thank you everyone once again for joining today's Casper and Crypto Live. I have to leave very quickly now, so I'm going to wrap up very, very quickly. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share, and subscribe for more. If you want to be even more in tune, check out the free Discord server. Link here, and equally the VIP, even more detail as well. If you want to know how to trade and get extra benefits of trading as well, check out BYDFI. Link down below in the description, and also is also an affiliate link in the Discord server as well. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, family. And I'll see you all in the next